Not too long ago, a relative of mine made an observation that really stuck with me. They said I reminded them of that classic Hollywood character, you know, the type, the desert rat or trailer park dreamer. The guy living on society's margins, surrounded by half-finished projects and grand schemes, absolutely convinced that his next big idea will finally be his golden ticket out of obscurity. The perpetual dreamer with a long trail of failures behind him. Someone who still believes that pure ingenuity and relentless persistence will eventually pay off, even as the world seems to have moved on without him. At the time, I'll admit, it stung. But looking back now, I realize there's something profoundly important about that archetype that my relative, and frankly, most people, completely miss. When I first started developing my trading approach, I did what any reasonable person would do. I sought out community. I found what appeared to be exactly what I was looking for. An online forum filled with traders and investors, all supposedly committed to learning from each other, sharing knowledge and helping one another avoid costly mistakes. I was excited to contribute. I genuinely believed I was joining a supportive network of like-minded individuals who would appreciate fresh perspectives and innovative approaches. I couldn't have been more wrong. When I began sharing my trading ideas, specifically my approach to using moving averages, which form the backbone of my entire system, the response was swift and brutal. One member didn't just disagree with me. They systematically dismantled my approach, declaring it fundamentally impossible. They wrote, and I quote, that my core beliefs conflicted with and were therefore discredited by the findings of practically every available independent, objective, systematic, statistically significant research trial ever conducted and published on the subject. Others chimed in, explaining how they had already tried to help me see the error of my ways. They said, finally given up. I was, in their collective judgment, a lost cause. But here's the thing about being written off as a lost cause, whose ideas are basically nonsense. Sometimes the market has a funny way of proving the experts wrong. For someone whose core beliefs are supposedly discredited by every serious research study ever conducted, I must be extraordinarily lucky enough to maintain an 80 to 100% daily success rate on a consistent basis. Lucky enough to turn that impossible moving average system into a reliable profit-generating machine. Of course, we all know it's not really about luck. Is it? So here's what I want to say to every retail trader out there who's facing their own chorus of naysayers, their own community of experts telling them their ideas are impossible, their own relatives comparing them to washed-up dreamers in trailer parks. The same people who dismiss your approach today will be asking for your secrets tomorrow. The same community that writes you off as a lost cause will suddenly want to understand your methods when your results speak for themselves. Every breakthrough in trading, every successful system, every profitable approach that eventually becomes accepted wisdom started with someone who was willing to ignore the conventional thinking, someone who was prepared to be called a dreamer, a fool, or worse. The difference between the Hollywood desert rat and the successful trader isn't the number of failures. It's the willingness to keep refining, keep testing, and keep believing in your approach until you get it right. Your trading journey isn't about proving anything to online forums or skeptical relatives. It's about developing a system that works for you, staying disciplined in your approach, and having the courage to trust your analysis even when everyone else thinks you're crazy. Discipline, dedication, perseverance.
These aren't just motivation buzzwords. They're the actual tools that separate successful traders from the dreamers who never quite make it. So embrace being underestimated. Use their skepticism as fuel. Let their dismissal motivate you to prove them wrong through results, not arguments. Because at the end of the day, the market doesn't care about academic studies or forum consensus or what your relatives think about your approach. The market only cares about one thing: whether your system actually works. And when it does, when you're consistently profitable while the naysayers are still debating theory, you'll understand exactly what I mean about the difference between being a dreamer and being a trader who dreams big and executes even bigger. Keep trading, keep believing, and most importantly, keep proving them wrong. The market rewards those who persist when others give up.